Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. So in today's video we will discuss on part 2 of the CISA Domain 2 series. We will cover questions 16 to 30 from the governance and management of IT. So if you found part 1 helpful, then get ready. This set will bring even more real exam style scenario based questions, and each with clear and concise explanations to sharpen your audit mindset. So this domain is very important for CISA aspirants because many students, what I have observed, that they cannot do well in this domain. So we need to understand clearly all the concepts. So let's begin and let's try to solve our questions. So our first question is, during an IT audit, the IS auditor notes that project success metrics are not tracked post implementation. What is the most important risk? So is it increased cost overruns? Increased cost overruns is actually more related to budgeting and planning issues. It is not the lack of performance measurement. So then B is inability to measure business value. Yes, that might be correct. Let's see the other options. Option C is poor user adoption. Poor user adoption is a consequence, but not the most critical risk if business value is not even being measured. And option D is delayed regulatory compliance. So regulatory compliance typically involves legal frameworks, not success metrics for IT projects. So the relevant answer is inability to measure business value. Yes. So actually, without post-implementation tracking, the enterprise cannot determine if the project delivered the intended business benefits. So let's go to our next question. The IT department is initiating major automation projects without involving business units. What is the primary risk? Redundant infrastructure, conflicts with enterprise architecture, low return on investment, business disruption during implementation. So redundant infrastructure is more a technical architecture issue. It is not a result of excluding business units. Conflicts with enterprise architecture. Architecture conflicts are possible, but not the most impactful compared to return on investment. So, low return on investment, yes, this is obvious. So, if the IT department is initiating major automation without involving the business units, then obviously there will be low return on investment. And business disruption during implementation. Disruptions can occur, but wasted investment due to low return on investment has longer term strategic impact. So our correct answer is C. So what I mentioned, that lack of business involvement may lead to solutions that do not solve actual problems, resulting in poor return on investment. Let's go to our next question. An IS auditor observes that IT budget requests are approved without reviewing alignment with enterprise objectives. What is the greatest concern? Resource underutilization. It might occur, but it doesn't represent the strategic financial impact of misaligned budgets. Delays in procurement. This is not actually relevant because procurement delays are procedural. It's not related to the enterprise alignment. Ineffective project management. Poor project management is secondary actually to funding misaligned priorities. So, and option D is misallocation of funds. Yes, that might occur when an IS auditor will observe that the IT budget requests are approved without reviewing the alignment with enterprise objectives. So the correct answer will be misallocation of funds. Okay, our next question is, while auditing IT human resources, the IS auditor finds high turnover in key technical roles. What is the greatest risk to IT governance? A. Increased training costs. You see, training costs are operational concerns, not governance level risk. Then B is knowledge loss affecting strategic initiatives. That is true because when you are auditing IT human resources and when the auditor will find that the turnover is high in the key technical roles, then obviously it is a knowledge loss which will ultimately affect strategic initiatives. Number C, lowered morale in other departments. Morale in other departments, it does not actually affect IT governance directly. And reduced help desk responsiveness, it is a performance issue, not a strategic governance problem. So the correct answer is B, the knowledge loss affecting strategic initiatives. Yes. So our next question, question number 20. An enterprise has implemented a formal change management process, but emergency change bypass it. What is the best control to address this issue? So notice carefully, an enterprise has implemented a formal change management process, but emergency changes bypass it. What is the best control to address this issue? Extend change windows. Extending change windows, it does not solve the issue of bypassing the formal controls. Implement a rollback plan. Rollback plans address failure, not governance gaps. Require post-implementation reviews. Yes, it always will require the post-implementation reviews because we have bypassed the emergency changes. And D, document all changes manually. Manual documentation without review, it will lack accountability actually. So our correct answer is C. Post-implementation reviews ensure even emergency changes are reviewed for risk and governance. Our next question, question 21. IT frequently introduces new tools, but there is no process for sunsetting old systems. What is the primary concern? Staff confusion. Confusion can happen, but it is a user level concern actually, not a governance issue. Excess software licenses. Excess license is a cost issue. It is not the core concern of rising technical complexity. Increased technical debt, yes, it might be true. Duplicate service offerings. Duplication is actually a symptom. It is not the root cause of technical governance risk. So the correct answer is C, increased technical debt. So without formal decommissioning, legacy systems will pile up and increase complexity and maintenance burden. Question 22. A mid-sized enterprise uses outdated KPI dashboards that only report infrastructure uptime. What is the best recommendation? Adapt AI-based dashboards, add user satisfaction metrics, transition to business aligned KPIs, increase report frequency. So adoption of AI-based dashboards, these tools are nice to have, but it do not directly improve the alignment with business KPIs. Add user satisfaction metrics. Satisfaction metrics will add insight, but alignment with business goals is more impactful. The increased report frequency, more frequent reports will not improve strategic relevance. So our correct answer is C, the transition to business aligned KPIs. So business aligned KPIs are essential to demonstrate IT's contribution to the strategic goals. Let's go to our next question, question number 23. An IS auditor reviews a strategic IT initiative approved without risk assessment. What is the most critical consequence? Delayed delivery. You see, delays may result, but failing to manage threats, it will be more critical. B, project cancellation. Cancellation is a consequence, it is not the root concern. Unanticipated compliance issues. You see, compliance, it is a concern, but risk management is broader. It is a broader aspect. And D, inability to manage threats. Yes, this is the correct answer. So skipping risk assessment, it will prevent proactive identification and mitigation of threats. Ultimately, it will affect project success. Question 24. An enterprise allows each department to select its own cloud service provider. What is the most significant governance concern? A, vendor price differences. B, redundant services. C, inconsistent security practices. D, complex billing. The result is inconsistent security practices. Because you see, vendor price differences, pricing differences will matter, but security is a higher governance priority, right? Redundant services, service redundancy is inefficient, but inconsistent security is more risky. And complex billing, billing complexity, it is actually an administrative issue, not a strategic concern. So the correct answer is C, inconsistent security practices. Our next question, question 25. IT project timelines are repeatedly missed due to shifting priorities. What should management implement first to address this issue? Staff training programs, it will does not resolve actually shifting priorities at the portfolio level. Agile methodology, agile methodology, it actually helps manage tasks, but it does not address strategic alignment. Time tracking software, time tracking improves productivity, not priority alignment. So the correct answer is C, portfolio management process. So portfolio management will align projects with priorities and resource allocation. In this way, it will reduce delays from ad hoc reprioritization. Our next question is question number 26. A CIO introduces a new technology trend to the organization without a business case. What is the greatest risk? A. Vendor lock-in. B. Unused technology. C. Budget overrun. D. Strategic misalignment. Obviously, the answer will be strategic misalignment, because you see, vendor lock-in may happen later, but misalignment happens from the start, right? Unused technology, unused tools are wasteful, but the key issue here is lack of alignment, strategic alignment. Budget overrun, budget issues arise, but strategic misfit is the bigger problem. So the correct answer is D. So implementing technology without a business case risks misalignment with strategic goals and ultimately wasted investment. Question 27. An organization conducts IT risk assessments only during major audits. What is the most effective improvement? Introduce quarterly vulnerability scans, establish continuous risk monitoring, schedule risk workshops annually, rotate audit personnel. So what do you think will be the correct answer? The correct answer will be establish continuous risk monitoring. Because you see, introduce quarterly vulnerability scans. Vulnerability scans are periodic, it is not continuous. So the risk monitoring, so risk can be overlooked. Establish continuous risk monitoring, yes. Schedule risk workshops annually. Workshops help awareness, but it is not proactive, right? Rotate audit personnel. Auditor rotation, it will not impact continuous risk insight. So the correct answer is B. Continuous monitoring enables proactive risk identification and better governance oversight. Our next question, question number 28. An enterprise invests heavily in IT but has not updated its IT governance framework in 5 years. What is the most likely risk? A. Lack of accountability. B. Misuse of legacy tools. C. Ineffective decision making. D. Legal non-compliance. So, lack of accountability may suffer, but poor decisions, it will have broader impact. So, misuse of legacy tool misuse is a symptom. It is not a governance risk. Ineffective decision making, yes. When the IT governance framework is not updated regularly, the ineffective sorry, just a second. It will, I mean, uh, ineffective. It will make this ineffective. So question 29, an IS auditor finds no defined KPIs for outsourced application development. What should be the auditor's first recommendation? Implement code reviews, introduce cost benchmarks, define KPIs in the contract, hire more project managers. So implement code reviews, it actually ensure quality but not governance of outcomes. Introduce cost benchmarks. Cost benchmarks help budgets, not performance tracking. Define KPIs in the contract. Yes, it will be helpful for performance tracking. The organizations always use key performance indicators. And hire more project managers. More project managers will not ensure results without KPIs. So the correct answer is C. Explanation: KPIs in the contract ensure performance expectations are measurable and enforceable. Our next question is question number 30. Senior management requests IT to implement a tool within an unrealistic deadline. What is the best way for IT to respond? Escalate this to the board, accept and attempt delivery, negotiate a scope and time based on capacity, D. Outsource the implementation. Escalation to the board, it may be needed later, but collaboration is a better first step. Accept and attempt delivery, no. Attempting delivery, it will set the project up for failure. Negotiate a scope and time based on capacity, yes. The IT department will negotiate the scope and the time based on the capacity. Outsource the implementation. Outsourcing may not solve capacity or scope issues properly. So our correct answer is C. IT should collaborate with management to adjust expectations while ensuring alignment with capacity and risk. That's all for today's session. I hope you will like it. If you like, then press the like button and subscribe the channel. I will come back with another 15 questions set very quickly. So thank you very much and bye bye.